They say marriage is between one man and one woman. Well, then don't tell all the wives of the husbands I've slept with. You've tuned in to New Job Who Dis. Happy glorious Monday, one and all. You have tuned into episode 31 of New Job Who Dis, hosted by me, yours truly, Halston, Boddy. Boddy is the name, and talking about my jobs, my careers, my hopes, my dreams, my failures, and my bounce backs. That is the name of the game, my friends. Welcome, everybody, to another sparkling episode of New Job Who Dis. I am very excited to be here on this lovely Monday to tell you about the next job and the next life that I lived for a very short period of time. If you are brand new here, welcome aboard to a 30-episode journey of my life in the working world. Career stiff, if you will, chasing dreams and getting stuck in some nightmares. But we are here to talk about those failures, and we're here to talk about the successes to get you through the day. We're here to give you some inspiration and hope, some insight. How did Halston Boddy get here today? How did we become what I am? How did we get to this point? And mind you, the road is barely half over, folks. I mean, I got a long way ahead of me. But, we gotta get over some bumps in the road along that way. If you are one of my 11 listeners, oh yeah, we've upped it. We were 7 before. Now we have 11 listeners. If you're one of my 11 listeners, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. Welcome back. We missed you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a wonderful daylight savings. Halloween, of course. And I'm telling you what, Election Day is right around the corner. Tomorrow, I know, I don't want to remind you. I don't want to press you on this, that there is an Election Day coming in 24 hours. However, how poignant and how perfect of an episode this is, because we are going to talk about what I ended up doing in 2008 to survive, to live, to breathe, pay some rent, get back on my feet, to catch you up in a quick, hot 5 minutes. You're going to try and catch you up. I am in a free fall right now. I do not have what I used to have. I am no longer a stand-up comic by trade. I had a couple gigs left in the tank. I think we did a one-off Bears on the Run comedy music gig in Tucson in 2009, I want to say. I know that's next year. But there were like last little strings of what I had left as a stand-up comic, as an actor, as a former reality show contestant on I Survived a Japanese Game Show Season 2. Look it up. It's on the U of the tube. It's there. I lived it. So we are now in this free fall because I have somehow broken free of working this corporate world of Gamefly, 2007. That's a year prior. And I am chasing this dream. It lasts like a year and a half. I choked myself out financially. That's what happened. And the acting didn't happen, and the comedy didn't go anywhere, and I killed it off. I took it behind the bar and pulled the trigger because I was not in a good place. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a voice in a way where I felt I knew what my comedic tone or voice or angle was. I was this floating potato out there in the entertainment world, and I didn't know what to do. I tried. I equate it to lighting the rocket in the, and it goes up like a foot, psst, and then it just dies on impact. We tried to break free of this corporate world because I didn't want to go back to the nightmare of working with people I didn't like. I wanted to break free of that 9 to 5 holding me back. I've got bigger things to do. Brainwave that was going on, but it all came crashing down hard. Oh, it was rough. But I persevered. I'm a hustler, right? I got to get out there. Got to be responsible as a human being. Got to pay the bills. Got to pay the rent. Got to make it somehow. I have a boyfriend at the time. We had been together 3-4 years at this point. I moved him out here from Ohio. He moved. Hey, domesticated. We're here together. We're being together. It's a rough road, though, because the relationship isn't as hot as it was when it first started. That happens, right? Just isn't. It's just not. The spark isn't there, right? But we're also dealing with the fact that he's working and I'm not. I mean, I am, but I'm not pulling the 40-hour a week. I have benefits. I have a safety net. I have a 401k. I have all these things to protect myself. Big, scary world out there, right? And I'm living in Hollywood. It's expensive. How are we, North Hollywood, but, it's expensive out here. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to survive? I come back from Japan, not surviving a Japanese game show, tail between my legs. Nothing comes of it. There's nothing out there in the waters that says this guy is bookable. Put him on stage, put him on TV, get him something. We love this character. Who is this guy? We like him. Nothing. Whew, it was rough seas. But I didn't know it yet. And I will get to that. I literally did not know how rough it was going to be for me. But it all starts creeping up in 2008. And it all starts piling up in 2008. It's already piling up. I mean, I'm giving up a comedy career. The acting gigs are few and far between. Financial strife just does not make one sit well. It does not. I don't like being broke. I don't necessarily want to be rich, but I don't want to be chasing money and worrying about it day by day and stressing myself out. Don't like that position. I don't know anybody who does. Maybe some people thrive on it. I don't. How about that? So I go back to hustle mode, right? I have to. I don't want to disappoint my then boyfriend, maybe the soon be husband. I don't know. We've been together 3-4 years now. Come on. What are we waiting for? We've been domesticated. We get along together. We hang out. We enjoy each other's company. Things are okay on that. Love life's a little dry. I mean, again, that happens, but the spark is going away. So, I mean, it's all part of it. You'll understand why I'm briefing you on this relationship once we get to the job. Trust. Because this is the job that essentially killed off what was left of my relationship mentally. What? What's that job, you say? Well, as I'm out there choking myself, trying to get some sort of work, I worked, just looking on Craigslist, looking on job sites, just trying to find something. Now, I come with years of customer support experience, years of analyzing things, looking at data charts, the customer support numbers, these things that I had to study. And I felt like I had reached a peak with customer support. I needed a break from dealing with angry customers and dealing with dumb people and I say dumb because they're just, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, dumb customers. We don't like that. My brain was not, after having a failure at Best Buy, after having a failure at Gamefly, 2 in a row, I was not ready for a third time's the charm, darling. No, not having it. Whoo, so what do I find? I find a data maintenance administrator for the No on Prop 8. In fact, I got to correct myself, the No on Prop 8 campaign. Oh yeah, let's dial it back to 2008 when President Barack Obama became President Barack Obama. However, there was a side conquest going on in California. That was the No on Prop 8 campaign. Real quick, real simple. It was a confusing and confusingly written, it was weird the way they wrote it, which confused everybody. The way they wrote it said that if you voted no on Prop 8, you wanted marriage equality. LGBTQ people are allowed to marry their significant other, spouse. Same-sex marriage. Oh, the drama! Let me tell you. Now that's the way, if you voted the way they wrote it, if you voted no, you wanted equality. You wanted marriage equality. However, the law people, the people who wrote the proposition purposefully did it that way so it would make it seem that voting no means you don't want it. If you go back, look it up on Wikipedia, look it up online. It was this really confusing, from the get-go, proposition written that essentially confused voters. Because when you're telling somebody no, you typically mean you don't want that. Would you like me to spit in your hand? Yes or no? No. No meaning you do not want me to spit in your hand. I know, gross, but I had to use an example. But if I tell you, hey, I would like marriage equality, I would like same-sex marriage, and your proposition says no on Prop 8, your brain kind of goes, wait, am I voting yes? Do I want no on Prop? Already, it's confusing. Because ideally, if you want something, you say yes. Yes, on Prop 8. Yes, I want marriage equality. But the sentences put together did not add up in people's brains. So the messaging and the proposition writing caused a huge amount of confusion. Moving forward, I get hired by a gentleman, I believe his name was Robert. Older gentleman, I mean, not that older, just maybe 10 years older than I. You know, daddy type, gray hair, smokes, just this kind of like weeho gay, you know, weeho daddy gay, has a boyfriend, I think a husband, I don't know, well, they couldn't marry then. But, you know, just this uptight, gotta get it done kind of guy. Fine. I get the job, and the job is actually at the LGBTQ Center here in Los Angeles, at the one that's on Schrader. If anybody from Los Angeles knows, it's on Schrader Boulevard between Hollywood south of Sunset, actually. It's closer to Santa Monica. There's the main one that's close south of Hollywood. The south one is the Schrader, that's the extension one. It's part of the center. That's where the job was going to be. It's where the headquarters of the Southern California No on Prop 8 campaign, one of them was. It was one of the workstation areas. That's where everybody was going to volunteer. That was HQ. Got hired as a data maintenance administrator. What did that mean? Actually, I take that back. It was data maintenance administrator, but it was also data coordinator. What does that mean? What it meant day to day was I had to get volunteers, recruit volunteers by calling, reaching out, online, wherever, bang the drum. Let's get some volunteers in here. And then I had all these phone lists, these information lists that we got, voter information lists. I don't know where couldn't tell you where they came from. These big stacks, these sheets that were all like dot matrix printer. It was like, yeah, the old school with the printers, the holes in the perforation on the side that you have to pull off. Old school. Here's a pile and boxes of sheets of voter information. And then I had to train the volunteers that were volunteering in the data collection banks to contact these people, see if these numbers and everything were working. I didn't run the place. I didn't run it in a way where I'm like, we have quotas and we have to get data. I was given these sheets. I was instructed to teach the volunteers how to call these people and what they needed to do. And I believe most of it was like verification, but there was also just like, are you voting? Da, da, da. It was a very simple chase to try and get some information out there about the No on Prop 8 campaign. And then I had to collect data from these phone calls, and I had to collect data about these people, and I had to go into this database and put all this information in. And on top of that, take these big sheets and take the information from them and put them into the computers so I can print out more numbers for these people to call. So it's this secular kind of like thing where what would happen is that people will go out and canvass and people will get information and people would have people sign up standing out in the corner with the clipboards. Hey, do you have 5 minutes to talk about marriage equality? And then they'd bring those sheets into the office and then I'd load them into the database. I'd print them out and I'd get them back and make sure that the volunteers who are making phone calls for either donations or votes or whatever we were canvassing for, essentially, that's what this data coordination was. And I was the data coordinator for Southern California. So all of Southern California, I just dealt with all these sheets, all this information, all of these canvassed ideas and people's names, phone numbers, and all that. I just do data work, fill it in, put it in the computer, print it out, get sheets, make sheets, more sheets, get more information, just pack it so that these people have phone numbers to call. Pretty easy, right? Nah. Well, here's what happened. Okay. It was a temporary job. I worked it for like 5 months because obviously there was an end date. It was called the election. Once November 2nd hit and election day came and the decision came down, that was it. There was no more data to collect. There's no more people to call. Job over. Thanks so much, everybody. Here's my laptop that you loaned me. Have a great day. See you next election, I guess. I don't know. Here's the problems that I ran into. Now, day-to-day, not a hard job. I just had to go in and plug in data. I had to just keep working on data. Data. Refreshing. I didn't have to talk to anybody. Yes, I did talk to some people that were volunteers and get them on computers and phones and do the work and all that. Yes. Great. However, it was just like a never-ending sea of data. So no matter how hard I worked, no matter how many hours I put in, there was always more. And seemingly never enough. They were on these 24-hour deadlines. Totally fair. We wanted more data. We wanted these phone numbers. We wanted to call people. All fair. But I found myself working myself to the bone like I normally do. I invested. I mean, as a gay man at the time in 2008. See, I'm already backtracking. But as a gay man, up until 2008, I had to fight. Listen, we're in. I'm working for this. I'm working for this political proposition. We're trying to win. Yes. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Of course I'm going to put my best effort into it. Why would I'm fighting for my own rights. How interesting how motivated you will get when you are doing something that is contributing to your own well-being and future. I was churning and burning. I was trying to get as much data in there. I was trying to coordinate as much data, collect as much data. I was in it to win it. Realistically. Now, the people in charge. Now, there was somebody in charge of Robert. There was a whole group of people that was mostly all female. It was all women, lesbian, trans women who were the points of contact who were in charge, who were leading the campaign on the southern end, at least in this district, the LA district, the West Hollywood district, the Hollywood district, whatever We were in it, in the Southern California fight. These people were in charge. Now, based on the behaviors that I witnessed, based on my experience working with these folks, based on the observations I had day to day, going into the LGBTQ center, being in meetings, listening to my boss, hearing the updates, all the things that involve this process of political fight. And yeah, no, there were times I had to spend on street corners with clipboards trying to chase people down and talk to them about their thoughts and trying to get opinions and information and data and all that. I did it. From Beverly Hills to West Hollywood to Hollywood to, just LA in general. I stood on those street corners and asked people with a clipboard for information and what they thought and had the conversations. Nothing scary, nothing painful, nothing homophobic, nothing crazy. It was just getting some information, getting data. Cool part is that I had a couple friends. One of them is still my friend. The other one is AWOL, probably for a good reason. But I had a couple friends come in to volunteer and help. One of them is still one of my best friends to this day. I have a couple best friends, but he's one of my best. He's one of my besties. I ride or die. He came in and was a hard worker, and we got along. We had sort of vaguely knew each other from the bear community previously, but we didn't know each other like we did then. We got to know each other really well. He was a hard worker. He did a lot of work for me. It was great. Thank you so much, Pat. You're amazing. His friend, however, that he brought in, I didn't want to have to treat him like a school teacher teaching a kindergartner, but there were moments where I just wanted to wring his neck because I was like, you're in here to volunteer and fight for something that we are all working for, and we are go team go, and you are not at all pulling any sort of weight. You're wasting space and you're wasting time. Ha! There, I said it. Listen, but it was volunteer work, so I couldn't be too hard on him, but at the same time, I was like, why is this guy here? I don't know. Doesn't matter. My friend Pat did great. He was a champ, fought for the rights. Yeah. The people in charge, though, here's where it was like, I knew we were in a losing battle from almost the word go. For 3 months straight, at least, I just kept getting this vibe, this feel. The experience around me was making me feel like we were not going to win this one. Oh, why? Well, why fight for it then? Why would you put all that effort in? Why did you work if you going into a losing battle? I didn't think it was a losing battle, but I definitely felt like based on the work ethic and lack thereof mixed with this sort of vibe that I caught from everybody in charge that I talked to, that they wanted to be a hero. They were in it for themselves in some small way, where if we had won, if somehow no on Prop 8 passed and we had marriage equality in California, they would have been like, I need a parade, put me on a float. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to be the Grand Marshal for the next gay pride parade. Da, 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 da. I'm a superhero for saving gay marriage. Yay! It was weird. And it was, I almost didn't want to believe it, to be honest. I was like, I can't, because I talked to somebody about this that also volunteered. Now, how I got into this was these two dudes that I used to know got me into this campaign because they were volunteering. So they asked me if I wanted to volunteer. It was the pyramid scheme of life. I was like, hey, I'm volunteering. Want to volunteer with us? Sure. I volunteered. And then eventually I was like, I need a job. And I was like, let me talk to these folks down at the center I just volunteered with. Do you all need somebody to work here? Yes. Data. Great. But I came in there with an attitude to fight and win and do whatever it took. I was straight up falling asleep at my laptop at home, putting in data, almost dropping the laptop off the couch because I was like, just doing the nod thing. I was up way too late trying to fight for this right and fight for this equality. And as I was watching the other people work or not work, or have coffee clutches, lunches, time to just kibitz and have a good time and sit around and giggle and work. They ain't working. They ain't out there banging the drum and standing on the I didn't see any of that. I just saw a bunch of friends trying to be winners in a way where like, yay, we did it. We're going to take credit. Not the data coordinator guy, not the assistant data coordinator guy, not the IT guy. Nope, we're the presidents. We did it. We're the winners. I'll take credit. It was a lot of these people trying to like be the next Harvey Milk. I want to win. I want to do it. It's for me. I personally saved gay marriage. Like and it was hard. It was hard to work around that. There were times where it leaked out onto me, where I got like a stern email from the head, and I can't even remember her name. Brunette woman, she had glasses. I couldn't remember her name because I probably just blocked it out. But I remember getting like a stern email from her trying to like knock me down because I wasn't getting enough data in for her liking. There wasn't a quota that was sent. I wasn't being graded, or there was no like, I have to get my employee review in, so you better do the job better. I was volunteering up until a point where I actually got paid, and then they hired me as somebody who could just do this full time, and I did it full time and more than full time. So this level of infighting that was happening in a way of like, you're not doing enough, and pointing fingers. Gross. It was bad. And that's why I knew we were going to lose. I knew it in my gut. I don't think I even watched the election because I just knew. Heard about Obama, but when I had heard the news, because I think somebody had texted me or somehow somebody else cued me in because I was like, I can't be part of this. I watched Barack Obama. I was like, Barack Obama. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, that's it. I'm just going to wait because it's not going to be an instant result. And there wasn't an instant result. But once the results came through, it was not fun. Now, here's the other byproduct of this job that killed off my relationship. What? No, it wasn't the job itself. Oh, no. I was bringing in money. Hey, I had a paycheck. I didn't have benefits yet, but I had a paycheck. 2-week paycheck. Hey, we're bringing it in. All right, we're back on our feet. 4 to 5 months of this. Steady. Safety net. Feels good. Okay, great. Relationship is steady. Okay, we're back. All right, things are working out. However, I'm working for the No on Prop 8 campaign. The entire conversation about this job and about this purpose is marriage equality, the right, the equal right to marry your spouse as a LGBTQ member. Well, the conversation of marriage, I can't wait to win so that we can get married conversation, the relationship planning and taking it to that next step, equality moment for us both, hand in hand, love is love moment, never happened. My then boyfriend and I never really talked about, if this goes through, are we gonna get married? And now, mind you, this is happening while I'm working the job, the 5 months up until the day of the election and the results. So I don't want to say suffering, that's not the right word. I'm being kind of mentally tortured because I'm not sure if this actually passes, that the guy I'm currently with wants to marry me, nor do I know if I want to marry him. Now, that's not because I didn't have an intent. I was fighting for this right so I could marry somebody that I loved. And I felt that I loved him. I felt that I wanted to be with him. It was a little rocky. It was a little stagnant. But we were there. We were living together. We had been together right? Through thick, through thin, right? But silence. It was just, there was no conversation. There was no, we're doing this. Hey, we should talk about this. Hey, let's have a conversation about a relationship. I feel like we need to talk about the fact that gay marriage could be a thing. Marriage equality is possible. Oh my God. Wow. Are we doing this? This is great. Oh no. So yeah, it just was this weird silence, this weird sort of unspoken that made me realize the closer we got to election day and the quieter the voice inside and out, it never came to pass. We never said, hey, Paul, hey, Bob, what are we doing? Are we getting married? If this goes, I'm excited. Are we doing it day one? Are we going to get, should we get rings? Let's talk about this. Nope. Completely swept under the rug. Completely just kind of ignored and tabled for no reason other than the fact that it was telling a truth. And the truth was, we were not meant to be. It was not meant to be. Relationship should have ended in 2008. Unfortunately for both of us, it carried on for like another 2 years after that. 2 and change. It was like 2.5 years. It lasted almost 7. In fact, I think it did last 7, and it should have died at 4. No fault of either one of ours. Neither one of us was like, oh, he was treating me bad, or there was no like this guy was. It just was 2 guys just stuck and not making a move and not taking a chance to get out and make something else happen. And it was just like, well, I guess we're here. We're just together. Domestic partners still, I guess. It was weird. Put me in a mental spin. Imagine all of your dreams that you've had. Radio, acting, comedy, game shows, reality shows, chances to grab the brass ring, pull yourself out and just, man, we're doing something else and crazy and wild. We've got it. We're out of this poverty streak. Woo! Hey, we've beat bankruptcy. Yeah! And the last nail in that coffin before I essentially started to lose it was the fact that my relationship was being invalidated by inaction during a time when it is so important for representation and love is love, and we're showing the world that we're doing it. And here's that statistic that never was counted. Who is in a relationship currently that the No on Prop 8 campaign has willfully been able to shine a light on and dissolve or strengthen? Guess who in the room had their relationship dissolved because of when the time came and the train was pulling up to the station for us to possibly get on to the marriage equality train, we were like, maybe we'll get the next one. Unbreak my heart. Let me tell you, it was painful. It was painful because in earnest, I put in an effort into the relationship. I tried to make it work. I tried to make it a thing. I whether you want to call it playing house or whatever you did, I tried to be in a relationship and do the thing that I thought was what I needed to do in that time and be with that person. And No on Prop 8 killed that. Killed it! Because the mentality was not there for us to get hitched. It shined a light on our relationship, and it made us realize we were not going to fight for each other's marriage to each other. It was not, I can't wait to marry this guy. It became clear both of us were sort of, I hope this just happens as a right for the world and everybody around us. And again, the closer it got to the election, that was one train that was going towards the tunnel. And then the other train was the fact that this thing wasn't likely going to pass because it was so close. 50-49, 49-48, 47-46. All the polls were like within a half an inch of each other. It was so weird. Nobody knew. Verdict comes down, right? By the way, this is the last week of my job. Verdict comes down. Nope. Sorry, LGBT folks. Y'all do not get it. No marriage for you. Oh, we took to the streets. I had to go in. I went to the LGBTQ center, the Schrader Center. I went down there to not celebrate, obviously. I went down there to absorb the results as they were coming in because I didn't watch it on TV, as I said. I didn't stare at CNN or wherever just to be like, what's going NBC News breaking. I just kind of avoided it and sort of was being told on Twitter a little bit, but I didn't, after dealing with what I had to deal with for 5 months and dealing with the egos and dealing with the infighting and dealing with the, hey, we should just be all on the same team and fight for this. It wasn't how it was meant to be. And I was witness to it. I was watching it happen in front of me. It was just awful. I mean, again, hate to be a part of a losing cause, but when a football team or a baseball team is down by 20 runs or 3 touchdowns, they don't go, well, I guess we're never going to win this one. They keep fighting. They have 4 quarters to play. They have 9 innings to play. They have to get out there and keep playing. Even if they know they're going to get killed, it's not going to happen. Yeah, we took to the streets. I've never walked. We marched. We just marched and marched and marched. We walked all through West Hollywood and back and up and down. My legs were sore. My feet had blisters. We ran into Lance Bass from NSYNC. I mean, it was a moment. I think I still have videos or pictures from it on my Instagram or Facebook somewhere. I have to dig those up. But, woo, it was a moment to be part of, even in a losing battle. Because at the end of the day, we also were like, yay, Obama. Boo, marriage equality. But here we are, right? Here we are 12 years later. No on Prop 8, the contention that everybody had 12 years ago. All those arguments, all those things. Pretty soon you're going to marry your dog. What? Nobody ever in my life is like, oh yeah, I want to marry my dog. Yes, there are that fringe edge people that are like, yeah, I want to marry my dog. Great, marry your dog. But that is not what was the point. That was not the purpose. It was all about love. It was about equality. It was about being with the person you wanted and protecting them legally. That's what it was about. Here we are again. Not even an issue on the table right now. Yes, it is now. They're talking about, is it going to get rescinded with the Supreme Court? And listen. Been a battle for a long time. It will always be a battle. I don't think there's ever a time where it's like, it's over. We're great. Maybe it is. It's been 12 years. What are we doing? Who knows? But yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the job. No on Prop 8 campaign. Data coordinator. Killing my relationship and also getting a knife in the side because we lost the political battle at the same time. It wasn't my fault. I swear I put in my good fight. I just wish I would have got on the train earlier because, man, that messaging was so hard to overcome from the word go. The minute you tell people no on Prop 8, no, this is not, no. That's what they're going to think. Nope, we don't want this. Just, it frustrates me now because I think of like, God, if they would have just got that messaging right, we wouldn't have to have that conversation. But we had to. But we're here to live and talk about it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a short one, but daylight savings, we're all tired. We're all trying to figure it out. It's darker early. I don't know. But I need to make that one a succinct one because it was just a simple job for something that should have been simple, and it was complicated, and it complicated my life. Wait till you find out what I do next, other than a trail of therapy. We are not done. We still have plenty of episodes to go, plenty of adventures to go. we're still we're on the bottom end. Oh, it's bad. We're on one of the bottom ends. It's going to get better. It is, but it's also going to get worse. But it's going to get better, but it's going to get worse. I'm sorry to play with your emotions, ladies and gentlemen. My lover cheeses and lover squeezes. I know, 11 listeners. Listen, but that's why you're here. You're here for the journey. You're here for the ups. You're here for better or for worse. New job, who dis, listeners and lovers. We are here by the power invested in me to stay to the end because there is so much more to cover. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. By the way, please tune in. United Wrestling Network, Primetime Live. You can get the pay-per-view on the Fight TV tomorrow. Please check it out. Halston Boddy is going to be ringside for the glorious and gorgeous. It's hard to say there. The Queen of Hollywood, Miss Heather Monroe. And also, please tune in to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as well. So, double dose of Halston Boddy for you, darlings. Plus this podcast. I mean, I'm a media mogul. I'm cutting an album next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lover squeezes and lover cheeses. I say it every week, and I'll say it again. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell everyone. You've been listening to New Job, Who Dis?